What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another YouTube Live. And as you know, if you have any questions, go on the chat, and I'm going to take the time to go through some of your questions and obviously give you some advice, some guidance based on my experience. So, what's the topic of this video? And obviously, and you not to focus or for you to take any of the CompTIA certifications, not even the Google IT support certification. Don't do that, because if you end up doing that, more likely you're gonna end up getting an entry level job. And about 20 minutes ago, I ended up going on Indeed, just to see like some of those entry level jobs. And as you probably know, a lot of those entry level jobs had to do with help desk, service desk, field services, PC tech, and also desktop support. Many people don't think of it like, oh, desktop support, it's not an entry level job. Most jobs, desktop support, yes, they are entry level positions. So again, you don't want to get any of them. And I get it. Like, I totally get it. I know there are a lot of people probably giving you some advice, giving you some guidance about how to go through your IT career. And probably everyone is telling you, like, look, in order for you to start your IT career, you need to get your CompTIA A plus, Network plus, Security plus, Cloud plus, or any of these other CompTIA certifications. And obviously, because you are new and it makes sense, you have to get an entry level job, because that's exactly how everyone start their IT career. And I will tell you this, my first job in IT was an entry level job, but that's because I didn't know any better. My second job in IT was another entry level job. My third job in IT was another entry level job. And once again, I didn't know any better. And I know there are a lot of people going through their IT career the same way I did, not knowing any better. And probably you don't question what many people tell you, the guidance, the advice they give you. You don't question it. And because you see many people giving you the same advice, you'll be like, you know what? So that's the way to go. And I'm here to tell you, if you are looking for an entry level job, for you to stop. Now, if you have an entry level job, it's time for you not to move sideways, because many people do that. No, it's time for you to upgrade that job that you have now in IT to a better one. And again, for those of you joining, if you have any questions, go on the chat and I will make sure to go through some of your questions and give you some advice. Now, I just got my job paying $32 an hour with just my CompTIA A plus. Well, good for you. Not that many people are able to do that. And here's the thing, guys, because this is a conversation that I had with someone last week. It took about 3 months just for him to get a $24 per hour job, first job in IT, with their A plus, Network plus, and Security plus. And he was working on the cloud. I think it was, no, it was not cloud. It was the other one, the CYSA plus, and barely got an entry level job. Now, the pay is not that bad, right? Because probably someone earning 16, 18, $20 an hour and just a job, not a career, $24, that looks okay, right? And obviously, in order for you to start your IT career. But once again, a lot of the things and entry level jobs you end up doing, that things that bring no value to the marketplace. And that means for you to be able to move up in your IT career. And this is something that someone else told me, by the way. He basically was like, look, Jorge, you think it has any value? And by the way, this conversation that I had was with a recruiter. And this is someone that obviously reach out to, like all of us, right? At one point, they talk to a lot of people every day. They go through resumes every day. So obviously, they know what's going on. They can tell the difference on someone being average compared to someone being a high performer. So how are you positioning yourself in the market? But going back on that conversation, he's like, you think it has any value at all for someone, again, reset passwords, or setting up a printer, or probably set up a network drive, or probably just helping a user, to help him with just a computer problem, hardware problem, or maybe, again, a lot of those things that you end up doing in an entry level job don't help you in order for you to be able to move up in your IT career. And that's obviously one thing that you need to think of. Like, that's one thing that you have to think of. Like, is this job that I'm going to get a job that's going to allow me for me to become more valuable to the IT market? That way I can move up in my IT career. Because this is exactly what I tell everyone. You have to accelerate the process, and you being able to get to a high paying job in IT sooner than later. The economy that we are about to go through in the next year, in the next two, it's not looking any good. As you obviously know, the inflation went up to 8%. And it's been 40 years since that happened. 40 years since that happened. And many people don't have any idea. They are totally sedated based on what society tells them. And I'm probably one of those few guys in IT that's basically telling you, you need to accelerate the process and getting a high paying job in IT, because you earning 40, 50, 60, 70, $80,000. It's not going to cut it next year. It's just not. And again, there are so many people going in IT right now. There are thousands probably daily that they decided, you know what, I'm going to go in IT. So the market is getting very competitive. And really think about this, because most people are going to end up doing exactly the same thing, exactly what you're doing. And a lot of them, they're going to obviously apply to the same jobs that you're going to apply to. And when you end up going through the job interview process, guess what? As you know, you will be not the only one. There will probably another 7, probably other 10 applicants, candidates going after the job interview process, the same that you are going through. So my question to you is, how is that you're going to be able to get the job? How are you going to be able to differentiate yourself from everyone else if you end up doing exactly what everyone else is doing? But you see, many people don't think about that. Now, if that standard that you have for yourself, and for those of you that have family, if that standard that you have for yourself, for your family, is for you to earn 40, 60, $80,000, that's fucked up. Because why not go to, again, the standard that you're not going to stop until you get to a job that will pay you $130,000 or more. And yes, you can do that in only 2 years. Even though people may be like, no, that's just not true. That's BS. That doesn't happen. Or it happens with many people. I'm going to talk about a lot more about this, because obviously I really want to help you, for you to be like, you know what? Let me go all in and let me get to a high paying job in IT sooner than later. And if I don't have a job right now, I'm not going to go and get an entry level job. Don't do that. Stop looking for entry level jobs. Now I'm going to go to the chat. And again, if you have any questions, let me know. Now, someone says, do you recommend boot camps? No, I don't. Because the boot camps will cost you, all depending on the boot camps, between $3,000 up to probably $8,000. And the only thing that the boot camps are going to give you is some training based on the technical topics, based on the certifications they are providing to you. And then basically what they're going to do, they're going to give you the questions for you to memorize, for you to go and take the test. And obviously you're going to pass because you memorize the questions on the exam. And now you become certified. Now you have 1, maybe 2, 3 IT certifications based on that bootcamp that you end up taking. But again, you're going to go through the job interview process and you have no idea on how to get the job, because exactly the same things that you're doing when you go through the process, that's exactly what everyone else is doing. And not because you have one, not because you have three, not because you have five IT certifications, that means someone is going to give you a job. Because there is probably someone that has the same IT certifications as you, or probably someone that has more IT certifications than you. And again, not because of it, they're going to give you that job. And maybe you never talked to a recruiter before. And again, I need you to listen to this, because this is not a recruiter reaching out to you, about a job. No, you reaching out to a recruiter, and you reaching out to a recruiter and be like, look, I'm not looking for a job, by the way. I'm reaching out to you because I want to ask you a few questions. I want to get your insights. I want to know what's going on behind scenes, because obviously eventually I'm gonna go and look for a job, but I want to see what's going on behind scenes based on your position. And they're gonna tell you, if you ask, what do you think about those people that have many IT certifications, or what's the feedback that you get from the clients that you have and those that have many IT certifications on the resume, and be totally honest with me. And they're gonna tell you, like, look, certifications will not get you any job. And many times you're gonna end up looking really dumb in front of people. Probably they're not gonna laugh at your face, but let me tell you, they're laughing at you in their back of their mind, because they're gonna look at it and be like, oh my god, another of those people, they have 357 IT certifications and they don't even know how to answer the questions. Because once again, knowledge, that doesn't mean that you can answer a question effectively. People think of it, if I know this because I have the knowledge, and if someone asks me a question based on this knowledge, I'm going to be able to answer that one question and get the job. And that's not how it works. That's not how it works. I've been on both sides. One, me going on so many job interviews many years back and not end up getting the job fast. I end up going through 3, 5, 7 interviews, not getting the job. And I'm like, why? I have experience. I have a few IT certifications. What's going on? Now, that's because I didn't know any better. Now, on the other side, now that I know how to go through the job interview process, it takes 2, maybe 3 interviews in order for me to get 1 or 2 offers. Again, out of the 2, 3 interviews. Same thing happens with the students, the inner circle that I have that I teach. They end up going just on 2, 3 interviews. They end up going through the job interview process, and they always end up getting one. And why? Because they know exactly what to do throughout the entire process. So not because you have some knowledge, that means you're gonna be able to get the job. It doesn't mean you're gonna be able to get the job. And again, going back on the CompTIA certifications, why not get a job that's gonna pay you low paying job, help desk, and really like reach out to people that are in the engineer position and be like, just like be honest with me. Not all of it, but a lot of the things that I end up doing in an entry level job, it's not gonna really help me, has any value on me getting to an engineer level position. And the answer is no. So why not focus on the things that will allow you for you to become more valuable to the IT market, based on what the IT market needs, wants, and basically what the market is looking for. But you see, you don't do that. You just go based on what people tell you. Oh, you need to learn these few technologies, and you go and do that. That's not the way it works. So now let me go through some of your comments and see. So I answered that one question about the bootcamps. Now another one. What thoughts a network tech position? Now a network tech position, that really all depends, because that can be an entry level job or that can be a good job in IT, and that all comes down to on the job description. Because yes, it can probably be a network tech position, but maybe you end up doing a lot of things related to a network infrastructure, and you being able to be exposed on different technologies and really end up doing things that will help you to become valuable to the IT market. Because once again, many things that don't have any value in the market. Now let's get back to another question. in your program, so I'm guessing my program, do you sometimes have to tell some students that are not good enough technically after they try for a period of time, or do you believe everyone can do it? Everyone can do this if they do the work. The problem is most people don't do the work. And by the way, guys, for those of you watching, if you like this live, that will be good. That way you can reach out more people. But yes, basically what when someone goes through my process, a lot of it is you going through that technical content the right way. And that's one of the biggest things that people have. They don't know how to learn. They don't know how to go through a new technical topic. They end up going through it, and that's very difficult for them to recall that information. It's very difficult for them to storytell. It's very difficult for them to educate. It's very difficult for them to learn one topic and be able to put a picture, create an image on someone else's mind and be able to walk them through a scenario. And this is what I know about this topic. In order for someone to think of it like, wow, I can see this person, not only he knows, but I can see that that person can get the job done. And once again, not that many people know how to do that. So, what's the best IT certification to start your IT career? Probably a lot of you know this, right? That's the Cisco CCNA. Obviously, for those people that are new in IT, the first thing that you have to do, you have to go through the network plus content. You go through the videos, you go through again just the content related to the CompTIA network plus. But don't take that certification because that's not gonna help you. And then you go after and get your Cisco CNA. The problem is that many people don't even know how to go and learn those topics. That's the issue. Most people don't know how to learn those topics. So why do government jobs always come to search? Okay, Gerardo Martinez, in this case, yes, there are many jobs. A lot of them they are on government, and that's for more likely they require for you to have your security plus, and that's for compliance based on what they do. Now, like I tell my students, because they obviously have those same questions. The only time my advice on you getting your security plus is because you apply to a job, and if they say, okay, we want you, right? We want to hire you, but obviously we're gonna give you 3 months, for you to get your security plus. They give you some period of time in order for you to get it. So at that point, yes, it's ideal. But before then, my advice is not to. And again, this is just based on my experience and based on how I go and help many students. But no, again, my point of this video is for you to know that no CompTIA certifications. And once again, I get it. That's exactly what most people say. You have to get your A plus, your network plus, your security plus, and all this BS. You don't have to. Once again, you don't have to. Why not question what you know about your IT career? Why not question the advice and guidance that everyone gives you? Because there are many people that end up getting a good job in IT, their first job in IT, without any CompTIA certifications. Now, once again, this is based on someone that end up giving me some advice about the A plus and network plus. When they see that you have that on the resume, there are many recruiters that think of it like, whoa, entry level job. And obviously, you don't want for someone to take a look at your resume and for them to have the thought, oh, I have a few entry level jobs that can probably apply for this guy, for this individual. Obviously, you don't want to position yourself that way. So you see, it matters a lot how you go through your IT career. Like, really, it matters a lot. Now, really think about and let me know, do you have, guys, the ones listening, a job in IT? Do you have one? And if you do, can you tell me about how long you've been working on this job? Can you tell me that position? And let me know too if you don't have a job in IT and you're probably either looking right now to get your first job in IT, or probably you're like, Jorge, I'm about to start my IT career, which been it's been a few weeks, probably a few months since I start the process, on my IT career. That way, I get a better idea on where you are, and obviously on the advice guidance that I can give you. The other day, I had another YouTube live, and the conversation on that one was focused on how to earn over $160,000 in 1 year. Now, obviously, many people don't have the belief that that can happen. You know, again, I come up to you and be like, "Oh, you want to be an IT? Okay. Or do you have a like an okay job in IT? Did you know that in the next year you can earn more than 160, $180,000 if you really want to?" And again, many people may be like, "Oh, that's not true. That's not possible." You see, at that moment, many people, probably you'll be like, "No, this is not possible," and you totally shut down the possibility. Instead of, what? I never thought of it. Like, I can earn that much in 1 year. So tell me more about it. I'm open. And let me question what you're telling me. But no, most people are like, "Oh, this is BS. Oh, no, that doesn't happen. Oh, that's not true." Again, just be open to the possibility, because many people have done that in 1 year, get to 160, $180,000 in their IT career. And I will tell you more about it in the next few minutes. Let me just answer some of your questions. What do you think about cloud certs like AWS? So, it makes sense, right? When someone wants to become a cloud engineer, well, I want to become a cloud engineer. So, yeah, let me get some cloud certifications. That makes sense, right? Google Cloud, Azure, AWS. That makes sense. Or they be like, "You know what? I want to become a cybersecurity engineer. So let me focus on some of those IT certifications that are focused on cyber security." That makes sense, right? And that's exactly what most people end up doing. And that's wrong, because they don't see the big picture. And I get it, they don't know any better, but they don't see the big picture. Not because you get one, two cloud IT certifications, no one is going to give you a cloud engineer position. It's kind of dumb to think of it that way. The same thing on cybersecurity, network engineer. Not because you get, two or three IT certifications, focus on cybersecurity or focus on network engineering, that means you're gonna get a cybersecurity engineer position, one network engineer position. That's not how it works. And I get it. There are so many people right now, and that's exactly what they're doing. Because I want to become a cybersecurity engineer and focus on cybersecurity IT certifications, cloud certifications. You don't do that. What you need to do is you need to get a job in IT, for those of you new, sooner than later. What does that mean? Sooner than later. You need to get a job in IT in the next 4, 5 months. Oh, Jorge, like I'm totally new, completely new. Okay, that will take 4 up to 5 months if you only focus on what matters, not on what everyone tells you to focus on, because now it can take probably up to a year, because you're gonna end up going through so many BS that you do not need. Now, what type of job, Jorge? I'm new, 4 or 5 months, good. That means an entry level job? Again, no, you do not focus on entry level jobs. Imagine, right? Someone, because this is the reality of many people. They already have a job, not in IT. They are doing something not related to IT, but they have a job. And there are many that are earning between 60, 70, 80, $90,000. So the income for them it's probably okay. And when they be like, "You know what? I want to get an IT." And they are looking for information, advice, and guidance. And they probably find out that, oh, if I go in IT, I'm gonna have to probably start, like most people, with an entry level job. And these jobs, now that I end up doing some research, about 40, 50, maybe if I'm lucky, $60,000. That means about 20 to probably $27 an hour. That's the average on an entry level job. Now, me, right? I don't do IT, let's say. And I already have a job that pays me $75,000. I have a family to support. So now I have to go and back and probably downgrade my income, probably $10,000, $15,000. I'm gonna question that. Is that really worth it? Because instead of me moving forward, it feels that I'm going backwards. Even though probably later on I can get to better jobs in IT, but it's gonna be difficult, that transition, and that's the reason why many people don't start. That once they already have a job, not related to IT, but they are earning like okay money because of this wrong idea. So 4 or 5 months, you get your first job in IT, and that's exactly many of my students have done it. No BS, many of them. And what's their first job? Not an entry level job. Network admin, that's a position. Network support, that's a position. Network analyst, that's one of those that many of the students I have end up getting a lot more than the others. Network analyst. Or that can be too, like system analyst, system support, IT specialist, NAC support. And again, a lot of it goes based on the job description. Because an IT specialist position or a network tech position, all depending on the job description. Because some of those jobs entry level, some others no, they're good, they're not entry level, but you end up getting something that will pay you about $65,000, $75,000 first job in IT. Now that's a good job, because on that job, now you're going to be able to do things that will help you to become more valuable to the IT market. And from that job that you end up getting, and obviously and continually educating yourself on the right things, you go and upgrade your first job in IT to a engineer level position. But you see, many people don't think of it that way. So what that means, your second job in IT, engineer level position. Your second job in IT, engineer level position. And that can be for you to go on cloud, if that's what you want, network engineer, if that's what you want, go on cybersecurity, if that's what you want. But you have to focus on getting your first job in IT first, and a good one. And from there, you build yourself into cloud, cybersecurity, even DevOps or network engineering. But you see, many people, like, they don't. They think of it like, oh, and I tell my students, and this is what I tell a lot of people, like, don't do what you think is best. Do what works. Many people be like, I think I know better. Let me go and do it my way. My way is that way, the best way. No, you do what works, not what you think is best. And again, a question that can really change everything for you from this moment on. What's this? And again, well, hopefully you do, because I know most people may not, because you focus on dumb shit many times, and I used to be me, just focus on dumb things. But really ask yourself this question: what's stopping you from me to get to a high paying job in IT? Not how can I get there? No, don't ask yourself that question. How can I get a high paying job in IT? No. Let's go on a more powerful question. I know probably someone told you by now that uh, asking the right questions can make a difference. Smart questions, not dumb questions. Now, an smart question is, what's stopping me for me to get to a high paying job in IT? And really think about it. What's stopping you for me to get a job in IT? Now, you're going to go through some stories. They're going to go a few things go through your mind. What's stopping me for me to get to a high paying job in IT? It's because I don't have a degree. Well, I don't have that many years in IT or months. Oh, I only have one IT certification. You're gonna keep going through this set of beliefs. And what I'm gonna ask you is for you to question, is this true? Because of this, that's the reason why that's stopping me to get to a high paying job. And is that even true? And you're gonna realize that a lot of the things that you have in your mind that are holding you back, that are not true. And that's one of the biggest reasons and why you don't have a better job in IT compared to the one that you have right now. Because you have this pattern in your mind, programming, don't allow you for you to think bigger than what you are probably thinking right now. And let's just focus on IT right now. Because I know probably you may or not, but probably you may know someone that be like, wow, I know someone that been working in IT for the last 5, 7 years, and he has an okay job, not a high paying job, an okay job, even though they've been working in IT for 5, 7 years. But I know too, probably a few people, maybe one or two or more, but I still know people that have been working in IT for 5, 7 years in IT, and they already with a high paying job in IT with many opportunities in front of them. So what's the difference? You have two individuals. They've been working in IT for the last 5, 7 years. One of them earning about $80,000 and the other one $140,000. And you'll be like, what's going on? And let's say none of them have a bachelor's degree. None of them. I don't have a bachelor's degree. I don't even have my high school diploma. And I got to 140K income. But why? How? And again, how is it people are doing that in about 3 years? 2.5. Compared to other people, 5, 7 years, not even close to 100K. Like, why? Like, really, like, why? But you don't question your beliefs. You don't question your thoughts. And because you don't question none of it, because probably you're going through life stated in autopilot, you end up getting no results at all, or not the results that you want. Now, going back, I don't know how old are you, but going back when you were probably in your very early 20s, or probably when you were in your 18, when you were 18, 19, 20 years old. Did you see yourself living the life that you are living right now? Or did you end up seeing yourself living a better life with more income opportunities, with a lot more experiences, about based on what life has to offer? And you see, you have to start making those, like, what happens? How do the other people have it better than me? And many times, once again, you think about that something that's outside of yourself. And this is not that you are broken. This is not that you are the issue, but it's more about what's going on internal, that something that has to change. Because a lot of people that do not believe, oh, no, 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 I need to get my CompTIA certifications. No, 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 I need to get an entry-level job. And you're not open to the possibility that that's not true, that's the problem. Now, let me go through some more of your comments. If you have any questions, go on the chat. It's possible, my friend, automation engineer. Now, after 1 year experience, hire offer 180K so far. You see, one year of experience. You see, things happen. I'm telling you. So now, man, I think you continue with your big data. This engineering infosec is boring. Well, apart from pen testing. You see, Alex, that's kind of my point. Many people don't like pen testing. I know a few people don't like it because a lot of people, when they want to become something related to cybersecurity, because if you're in IT, you know that cybersecurity has many different positions, paths that you can take on. They are totally different from one another. Like cybersecurity, like penetration testing, that's just one that people go to. Like for me, I will never see myself doing that because it's a lot of like looking into packets, looking into data, analyzing all that BS. Um, and obviously penetrating the network. Again, it's all depending on how you look at it, but no. Um, but that's the reason why I tell people, and I totally, Alex, I agree with that. That many people get in IT and they look at jobs or they're getting into something and then they end up not liking because they never once again question on the things that they were focused on. They will get them the job they were probably were thinking of, and that's because they never planned that out. They never think about like, okay, what's the next job that I want in my IT career, you know? And this is what I tell everyone: you have to take the time to reverse engineer the entire process. And what does that mean? Like, what's the ultimate, like, what's your dream job? Like, which one is your dream job? And is that a senior level position? Is that some type of an architect position? Is that has to do related with cloud networking? Does that has to do with cloud security? Does that has to do with DevOps automation? Does that has to do with cloud DevOps? Does that has to do, like, again, there's just so many ways that people can go on, right? And having an idea, and you know, based on my research, this is what I want. You just have to reverse engineer the entire process. And this is not difficult, but people don't take the time to do that because they think that it has no value. And what does that mean, reverse engineer the process? And now that you know what's the job that you want in the next 3 years, because it shouldn't take more than 3 years to get to a really high paying job in IT, like 160, 180K, be like, okay, what's the job that I need to have before I get to my dream job? What's that job that I need to have? What will be the job that will make sense for me to be able to upgrade to that job? Oh, okay, that's this job. Got it. Okay. And now you do the same. Okay, so now what's the job that I need to have before I get to this job? You know, what will be required in order for me to have based on experience, value, like which one, so I can move to this one. That way you reverse engineer the entire process, right? Now this guy, I'm late. What are you saying? That because I don't like people to get CompTIA certifications. That's the reason why. And by the way, probably you don't notice because I have my camera over there, but I have one of them there. I have three CompTIA certifications. I end up getting my A plus, Network plus, and Security plus. And why they end up getting those? Because society told me, the IT community told me, like, look, Jorge, you're new in IT, you have to get your CompTIA A plus. I'm like, really? Yes, you have to do that. I'm like, okay. I didn't question it, and I end up getting those three. Looking back, that was not good. If I have to start my IT career all over again, I will not take any of those CompTIA certifications. No. Why? Because there's a better way to start your IT career to get a good job that will get you two things. And that good job, number one, it will pay you more than an entry level job. And obviously, number two, and this is the big one, you're going to end up doing things that will help you to become more valuable to the IT market so you can move up in your IT career. You know, this is something that I share many times with you guys, but I'm going to share this again with you. This was I know was last year 2021. So I had a conversation with someone. They reached out to me and they're like, you know, Jorge, your channel, other channels, you know, help me to upgrade my job, and I'm happy. So I'm reaching out to you and everyone else that helped me, you know, to say thank you because you were one of those channels that helped me out. And I'm like, okay. So I reached out back to, right, because I was curious. And I'm like, okay, so what did you end up getting? You know, what's the job that you end up getting? Oh, you know, I got a job. It's paying me $24 per hour, and I was earning 19 something, close to $20. Sometimes I say 19, sometimes I say 20, but it was not 19, it was not 20, it was in between, and that's how much I was earning. I'm like, okay, so it's about $5, close to $5 and more income, so that's great. But what's the job that you had, and what's the job that you end up getting? And what he ended up doing, he ended up going from an entry level job to another entry level job. And that's no bueno. No bueno. No bueno. This is why, guys, like it really matters a lot that jobs that you take it throughout your IT career, because you do not want to move sideways in your IT career. You want to make sure that that job that I'm gonna get, that's the job that's gonna help me for me to get to my next job in my IT career. And once I go after my second job in IT, I'm gonna make sure that's the job that's gonna help me to get to that other job that's gonna start moving me forward and me getting my dream job. This is what I tell everyone. Your first job in IT, it has to be something related to analyst, admin, support. That's your first job in IT. And you can fill in the gap. Network admin, system admin, system analyst, network analyst. Again, a job that will pay you $65,000, $75,000. Okay. You stay on that job about 4, 6 months. And yes, I said it right. Once you get your first job in IT, you'll be there for 6 months. 4, 6 months. No more than 6 months. Because if you stay there for more than 6 months, now you're lazy. Now the standards that you have are all the way down, right? So, once again, right? 6 months. Now, what do you do once you are on 6 months? Obviously, you continually educate yourself doing the right things, learn high paid skills. Nothing to do with more IT certifications, even though you may need one, but you have to focus on high paid skills. And then you move on to an engineer level position. So that second job in your IT career, it has to be an engineer level position. And from that job, now you can move up to something that's more senior level position. So you see your third job in IT, senior level position, and that's in less than 2 years. What do you think about Linux Plus? Look, man, I know that I can probably bring some people that have their Linux Plus certifications. I can probably ask them very basic Linux questions, and they will have no fucking idea on how to answer them. Even though they may have the knowledge, even though they're gonna answer that question, properly by giving me a definition. People are not looking for definitions. When you answer a question, you have to position yourself in a way that they think based on what you are saying, not telling them, I need you to listen. Look, based on what you are saying, not telling them, based on what you are saying for them to think about, like, wow, this guy can get the job done. But that's exactly the issue here, because most people, and I mean recruiters, IT hiring managers, engineers, the ones that are asking you the questions when you go through the job interview process, what they think of you, and most people is, wow, this guy, yeah, he knows. He answered all the questions. Yeah, how many questions we end up asking him? Oh, 5 questions. Yeah, he answered all 5 questions. So yeah, he has the knowledge. He knows. But now the $1 million question. Can this guy get the job done? I don't know. Even though he knows that he ended up answering the question because he knew the answers, but can he get the job done? No. Because obviously someone knowing information doesn't mean that you can get the job done. And because you didn't know how to do that, they're going to be like, you know what? Let's continue interviewing more people. And then you don't get the job. And then you are frustrated, confused, because you be like, I thought they liked me. I think we had something going on. I think I was likable. And I answered all the 5 questions that they asked me. I knew the answer all those 5 questions. And it's been 2 weeks, and they either didn't call me or they called me saying, someone else got the job. You know what? It's because I need more IT certifications. Or you know what? It's because I need more experience. Now you are lying to yourself and creating this bullshit. Okay. So that's exactly my point, and that's exactly what I'm trying to like me give you on this call. Like I really want to give you a few things for you to really think about and be like, you know what? Let me rethink. Or finally, let me think for myself. Now that I can see a possibility for me to double my income in 1 year. Like, why not? Now that I can see it can be possible because maybe some of these things that this guy is saying make sense, let me put more research into that, let me like dig into it and probably see that if that this can be possible for me, right? So going back on that question, what was the question? I'm looking back. Oh, I see that question. I see that question, Don. Um, what would you take instead of the school wants me to take CompTIA Security Plus? Oh my God, I'm afraid to ask, Don. I'm afraid to ask. Can you tell me what's the school that you're going to? And are you going through some type of a boot camp IT program? Are you going on getting an associate's? Are you going on getting a bachelor's? Tell me more about it. That way I get a better idea. And yes, most IT programs, they give you that shit. They give you the CompTIA certifications. Tech, it's like a boot camp. Okay. Yeah, all those boot camps are gonna start that way because it's easy for someone to get their A plus. Because let's be honest, I'm Heaven. Let's be honest. Let's just not fake it here. I don't know how many weeks, months are you into this program, okay? But I will tell you this. I will tell you this. If they haven't given you the questions for you to pass the test, they're gonna give it to you. So yes, they're gonna teach you a few things, to go through some PowerPoint presentations, and then they're gonna be, oh, study these questions. So even though you don't have a really good idea about the topics, like a really, really good understanding, you probably have an idea, but not really good understanding. They're just gonna give you the questions, you're gonna memorize the questions, and now you become A plus, Never plus certified. And now you think that you have something going on. People can tell. When you go through the job interview process, people can tell when you don't know shit. People can tell when you're new in IT. Like if you end up going through your IT career, like most people do, people can tell that you are new in IT just based on how you go through the entire process. And as soon as someone sees that you are new in IT, it's like next, automatically next, because they don't want new people because they don't see what you are capable of doing. And you'll be like, okay, Jorge, so how is that your students, right, are able to get a good job in IT? How is that possible if they're new too? Because they go through the job interview process not the way that you do. So once again, it really makes a difference how you go about it. And probably once again, I don't know how long you've been going into that college, and I don't even want to ask how much it's gonna cost you. And I get it. Many people be like, Jorge, I'm going through because people reach out to me. Jorge, I'm going through this IT program, and I'm not paying money. No, you are paying money. It's not free. Nothing is free. No, no, I'm not paying anything. Or they make you sign a contract. Let's not BS. They make you sign a contract. And what that contract says, depending on what school you end up going to or program, they're like, okay, we're gonna take 1 year, or we're gonna take 2 years, a percentage of your paycheck. And at the end of the day, they don't really care how much you earn. As long as you get a job in IT and be like, voila, you're gonna give us 5, 10% of your paycheck for the next year or for the next 2 years. And at the end of the day, you end up paying 10, 20, $30,000. So it's not free. So don't be again, don't no. Okay. They call it an ISA. I don't even know what that means, man. They call it an ISA. Yeah, can you? I mean, you probably know more about me. Income sharing agreement. There we go. Income. Thank you very much. Income sharing agreement. Yeah, that's exactly what they go by. So at the end of the day, it's not free. You end up paying more than $10,000 for sure. $20,000. And again, right? You're probably thinking, well, it's better because they helped me to get an IT. And I get it. Like, I totally get it. But that's no way that I'm going to give a year or 2 years out of my income. Like, that's no way at all. That's no fucking way at all. I will figure it out, find another way, because that's a lot of money for something that a lot of it you can really find online. A lot of that technical teaching you can find online. The problem is that the way that you go about it, that's a problem right now. The way that you go about learning a technical topic, you can probably, for someone, right, learning like the very basics about IT, network fundamentals. The way that you go about learning those topics, like for instance, something that DHCP, right? The Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. Let's say there's a new topic to you, totally new, and you go and Google it. You go on YouTube, right? You end up watching probably 3 videos about what DHCP is. And then I'm like, okay, let me ask you a question. Can you tell me what's DHCP? And because you end up going through some videos, in the last 2 days, you end up doing some research, you're gonna right away come out with that definition. You're gonna right away be like, oh yeah, dynamic host configuration protocol provides IP addresses to computers. They are set up with dynamically. It goes through this process called DORA, where the device, when it boot up, it goes and sends a discovery. DHCP sends an offer. And then the request that I want it, and then acknowledge that I got it, and okay, and what else? What else? Oh yeah, so DHCP port 67, I think, and DHCP. That's that's exactly what most people go about it, and that's because I have been asking a lot of questions to many people just to see how the way they will answer. And when you ask something that basic, that's exactly how they answer the question. And people be like, "Oh, that's good. That's I answered that question. Yes, I got it right." No, you didn't, because everyone else before you, everyone else after you, they're gonna answer that question the same way that you did. The same way you did. And me as the IT manager, or me as one of the engineers that is going through the job interview process to see if you qualify, right away I'm gonna think this guy has no fucking idea what DHCP is, even though he gave me a definition. But I know if I put him right now in a scenario with DHCP, he will have no fucking idea on what to do, because that knowledge will not get them the results that we cannot give us the results that we're looking for. And I can tell right away this guy is new. That's the reason why. And I hope you really get my message. Please stop learning any IT topic if you don't know how to learn. And this is what I tell everyone. Having knowledge of a topic will not get you nowhere. If you don't know how to if you don't know how to storytell that topic, if you don't know how to educate other people that topic based on other topics related to it, if you don't know how to present it by creating an image, a picture in someone else's mind, and be able to create a scenario inside that picture, and you being able to walk them through and what you are capable of doing based on that topic, be able to sell yourself based on that topic, that means that you don't know shit. That means that you are like everyone else. And that's the reason probably it's taking you a lot of time for you to get a job. And if you end up getting a job, it's like finally, but you end up getting not the job that you really wanted, that income that you really wanted. And then you go and learn another certification, the same way that you did on the previous ones. thinking that that's the solution. Does that make sense? Now, any other questions? So I'm not going in circles. If you watch some of the other videos that I have, I said it in all the videos, in all of them. For someone that is new in IT, the first thing they have to do is the one thing that I just been saying for a long time right now. Take some time to learn about how to learn. That can be a week, that can be 2, that can be up to 3 weeks. Really take the time to know more about how the mind learns, how you effectively can go through a video, how effectively to listen to an audio, how effectively take notes, because people don't know how to take notes. People think that, oh, I'm just writing this down. That's taking notes bad. Or people don't even know how to do research online. They have no idea. Like for some of you may know this, some of you may not. If I tell you, you know what's MPLS? And you probably, I heard of it, but I don't know exactly what that is. Let me Google it. What's MPLS? Wrong. You don't do that. That's not how you do research. You see? Now, how you go and do the labs? Because obviously, a lot of the things that we end up doing in order for us to learn something, we end up doing many labs, right? We cannot create our own lab environment, right? So you don't even know how to go about doing that. And yes, you know how to create labs, but how to go about creating the stories and everything related to in a way that can help you, you don't. So that's the first thing that I will do. That's number 1. Step number 2, new in IT. No have idea on IT at all. So I'm gonna go through all of the topics, all of them, on the Network Plus. I'm gonna go through all of the topics. That way I have a better idea, what a network is, what a network infrastructure is, how devices communicate. I want to have a really good idea on what that is. How devices communicate. What's a router, what's a switch, a layer 2 switch, a layer 3 switch, what's a VPN, what's a firewall, what's a server, what's a cloud virtualization. Like I want to have a good picture on what that is. So you go through all those topics. But you do not take the CompTIA Network Plus because it's not needed. So once you end up going through all the topics and you have a really good picture about a network infrastructure, then you'll be like, okay, it's time for me to go and get my Cisco CCNA. And that's exactly what you do. Okay? That book for learning how to learn, that book, that one right there, that way, right there. You can probably zoom in, take a picture or something, but that's the book, the one in blue. That's a good start. Not because you buy the book and not because you go through the chapters, that means that voila. But that's a good start. Let me tell you that. That's a good start. Okay? That's a good start. They will put you in that direction. When someone goes through the accelerated coaching program, my students, that's the first thing they go through. And I have to wait 5 minutes because now it's going to be 8 p.m. And I have a call with one of my students. Okay? So yeah, once again, you have to that's the first thing they go through, the process of learning how to learn, and I give them some exercises on how to start processing information and all that, because that matters a lot. It's difficult, and you being able to go through that job interview process and really sell yourself the way that you need to. Very, 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 very difficult. Very difficult. So you have to know how to storytell. You have to know how to sell yourself based on the questions they're going to ask you. Okay. And once again, I really want all of you for you to start doing things needed in order for you to be on your way to get to a high paying job in IT sooner than later. Many of my students that end up doing the fucking work end up doing that. You see, this is not difficult. It's just more having a framework and what to do based on where you are right now and following that process in order for you to know, like, okay, now I know how to get my first job in IT. Now I know how to go from my first job in IT to my second job. Or for those of you that have a job in IT, how can you go and get to a job that's gonna pay you $30,000 to $40,000 more in the next 5 months? Because let me tell you, I don't care where you are in your IT career. If you are earning $60,000, and let's say that you just end up getting that job last month, or let's say that you're earning $90,000 right now in that job that you have in IT, and let's say that happened probably 2 months ago. You can go in the next four, no more than 5 months, you can go and get something that's gonna pay you 30 up to $40,000 more. And this is not by you moving sideways. What does that mean? Let's say that I have a network admin position and I'm earning 75K. And then I find this job and I get it. And now it's not 75, it's now 90K. So it's good, right? People think, even though it's not good, but people think, oh, from 75 to 90K, making progress. Yeah, very small progress. But now that I'm at that job, what's the job title on that job? Oh, I'm a network analyst 2, level 2. I'm like, look, you didn't really move up in your IT career. You end up going from one job, good job, to another good job in IT. You didn't move up to an engineer level position. And I have to go, guys. I really have to go. I probably do another live probably on Thursday. No, not Thursday. Wednesday or Thursday. One of those 2 days. Okay. But I really hope you get a lot from here. And by the way, if for those of you that are freaking ready for me to help you on one-on-one conversations, customize a plan of action, give you access to my all the content that I have inside my inner circle, that's the link for you to apply for the coaching program. And once again, if the only thing that you get out of this conversation that I had with you today is for you to be, you know what? Let me step back and let me question what I know about getting to a high paying job in IT, because probably I'm doing things I'm not supposed to, and I'm not paying attention to the ones that will accelerate the process and me getting to that high paying job in IT. And this is a good time because the economy is not good. And obviously, I want all of you to really get to a high paying job in IT sooner than later. So really take care, guys. And I will talk to you soon. And for those that are ready to join me, there is a link, the coaching program. And that's it. Take care. Talk to you soon. Jorge is paid by Cisco to promote their certs. I wish. Cisco should pay me a lot of money, because, yeah, a lot of money, because there are probably more than 100 people that through my coaching, they end up getting their CCNA and CompTIA certifications. I should do that. And I'm sorry, Julie, and that you're so close-minded, man, when you be like, oh, Jorge is paid by Cisco to promote their certs. But what I tell everyone, my shit, it's not for everyone.